Want to welcome to the program right now the author of Safety On. Yehuda Remer is with us once again. Yehuda, how are you, sir?
Doing pretty well. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. It's good talking with you once again. And as I said, it's great to see the attention that Safety On is getting. When we talked with you in Atlanta, Georgia at the NRA annual meeting earlier this year, your book had really just come out, hadn't it?
Yeah, it came out a couple months beforehand, and I was there to kind of network and get it out there a little more.
And apparently you have been successful at doing that. We talked with you there in Atlanta, and since then, I've seen a number of articles, latest at guns.com, Jackie Billings, writing Safety On crosses party lines to educate kids on guns. And I know that that's something that you and I spoke about in Atlanta. It was really important for you that this be a book that really, it's not a political kids book. This is truly about gun safety.
Yeah, like we talked about before, whether you're on the right side of the aisle or the left side, it really doesn't make a difference. At some point, your children are going to be exposed to firearms, whether it's through movies, TV, whatever you're watching on your iPad at the moment. So they are going to be exposed. And the question is, do you trust your child to do what's right if they find a gun somewhere it's not supposed to be? And that's what my book is there for, is, left or right, pro-gun, anti-gun. Do you trust your children? Are they going to pick it up and pull the trigger, or are they going to run away, tell a grown-up?
And you just kind of echoed the Ed Eagle Gun Safe program, which just announced a big milestone, having reached 30 million kids since the inception of that program, with that very simple message: if you see a gun, stop, don't touch, run away, tell a grown-up. And it's interesting, Yehuda, because, it's a simple message, but a lot of work went into crafting that message, right? It's about how do you best reach kids. And as adults, we're used to talking to other adults at an adult level, but when you start trying to reach out and tailor your message for a 5, 6, 7-year-old, it does require some additional thought. What went into writing this book, Safety On? Because clearly your audience, wasn't. It's not the audience that you're talking to today. You're reaching out to a much different audience than your standard adult gun owner.
What went into writing it? My wife always calls me immature, so it wasn't such a far-fetched, road to go down. But I wanted to do it in a way that it doesn't sound like an adult is preaching to a child. I wanted the story to come from one child to another child, so that it would be a lot more relatable. And the book is told through the eyes of a little boy named Kyle, who just talks about everything he sees his father doing in terms of gun safety, and how it affects him, and how he wants to be like his father and learn what to do and what not to do around firearms.
So one of the things I didn't realize is that this children's book, Safety On, and it makes perfect sense to do this, you've now taken the book, which is beautifully illustrated, and you've turned it into a coloring book so that kids who love to color, now it's more interactive for them.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I did it. Is, you can read the book to your child, or if your child's old enough to read it themselves, they can read it, and then afterwards let them sit down and color page by page and really internalize the visuals of the book, because we all know kids tend to be a lot more visual than they are audio. So I had my illustrator convert it to a coloring book, and it's been doing pretty well so far.
That's fantastic. If folks want to get a copy of this book, or maybe a copy for every one of the kids or grandkids, where can they find it, Yehuda?
Right now, the best place to get it is Amazon. And hopefully right after the gun rights policy conference in a couple weeks, I will be selling them on my website if people want signed copies.
Oh, that is fantastic. All right, I got to ask, are you working on a sequel?
At the moment, I'm not necessarily working on a sequel for Safety On. I am working on another children's book about guns. Very different than Safety On, but also important. Just waiting for a few pieces to fall into place. But I'm also working on a satirical coffee table book, more political, not really having anything to do with firearms, and hoping that one should be out in the next couple months.
A satirical coffee table book. Okay, you've piqued my
Yeah.
curiosity. I'll be paying attention. All right. Well, we'll look forward to seeing that in a couple of months. I'm glad to know that you're keeping busy, and thank you so much for coming on the program today. It's good talking with you, Yehuda.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to come on.
Always good with when we get a chance to spend some time with you. Yehuda Remer. You can find Yehuda, by the way, on Twitter at Yehuda Remer, and his website, YehudaRemer.com, YehudaRemer.com.